Peter, you have to say it, don't you? Even though you're coming from a far left perspective, shame on Corbyn, shame on Abbott, shame on this entire Stop the War coalition.
But it has to be said that the Stop the War coalition did great things in the past. It organised the huge mass protests against the Iraq war. It was right, and the British government was wrong. But I'm sad to say that in recent years, Stop the War has really lost the plot. When Russia intervened in Georgia, they did no protests. When they annexed Crimea, they did no protests. When they bombed Syria back to the Dark Ages from 2015, they did no protests. Now they suddenly decide, oh yes, the Russians are the baddies. But they never said that in the past when Russia was doing bad things. They're only saying it now because the news is so horrifying. What Russia is doing is so horrifying, they can no longer defend the position they once held. And, you know, it shocks me that people who call themselves socialists and anti-imperialists can have turned the other way when Russia was doing things just as bad as America did in Vietnam or Iraq. It's doing them in Ukraine today. They should have spoken out much sooner. They only spoke out because they were embarrassed by many of us on the left who called them out.
And Peter Tatchell, perhaps we shouldn't be surprised by Jeremy Corbyn, given his leadership was characterised, wasn't it, by sidling up to despotic regimes. I mean, he wasn't keen to condemn Putin after the poisonings on British soil.
Well, we have to be very careful because, for example, Jeremy Corbyn, far more than any Conservative MP, has been very strident and critical of the persecution of the Arabs in southwest Iran. He's defended their cause for many, many years. He's spoken out against Indonesian imperialism in West Papua. And of course, successive British governments have armed the Indonesians to suppress the people there. So we can't say that Jeremy Corbyn's all wrong, but he certainly has, on the question of Russia's intervention, I think been too soft.